President Trump is celebrating 6 months back in office, kicking off his second term by delivering on a whole bunch of campaign promises.
Exactly. Now, one of the keys to his re-election, Gen Z voters. Now, our next guest counts among those young voters, political commentator, author, and host of the Brilyn Hollyhand show, Brilyn Hollyhand. So, look, I mean, the president's list of accomplishments is huge.
Right.
But younger voters typically have different priorities than, say, your more older voters. So what do you think the biggest thing for younger voters that the president's done so far?
It's absolutely the economy, hands down. President Trump has performed CPR on the American dream, and the big part of that is making the economy great again. He talked about the golden age when he came into office, and we've had 6 months of a successful golden age. I'll tell you this, I was with the president a few weeks ago. He was giving the commencement address in my hometown at the University of Alabama, speaking with college kids, and I had a few minutes with them backstage. I said, "Sir, you've got a secret weapon." And he said, "Well, what's that?" He kind of came closer. I said, "You can keep Gen Z simply by doing this novel concept of politics called actually keeping your promises, actually reviving the American dream." It's an amazing thing, and we're seeing the president do this. On the other side, they're kind of going at Gen Z in a different way. You mentioned it, the DNC previously had a monopoly on my generation. Thankfully, they ran Kamala Harris and we ran Donald Trump, and we broke that monopoly because their approach to winning Gen Z was to call our masculinity toxic, to villainize Gen Z by comparing us to Nazis, and Joe Biden even calling us garbage. Are we shocked that didn't work? But I'll say this, today they're bringing Kamala Harris back out on the trail to give a speech at a Gen Z conference. Now, if you're a party that lost Gen Z because you ran Kamala Harris, would you pay Kamala Harris to speak again? But I'll say this to the Democrats, if they happen to be watching this morning, please continue to run Kamala.
Yes. Yeah.
Please continue to pay her to give speeches. We would love for you to run Kamala Harris again in 2028 because we would love to see a J.D. Vance Kamala Harris matchup. It would be a steamroll, a bigger landslide defeat than we saw in 2024. And that would be the nail in the coffin of their party.
I know you give a lot of speeches to the youth also, and you've written a book as well. What do a lot of people, Gen Zers, if you will, what do they tell you about why they're starting to make that switch and vote Republican?
Genuinely, it's transparency and accountability. And we are seeing the most transparent White House we've ever seen in American history. It's an amazing concept to be able to scroll through, TikTok, where a lot of Gen Z are. Maybe they're not watching cable news. Maybe they're not reading, a newspaper in the morning to see what the president's doing. But they scroll through TikTok and they see these videos of him walking in to meet with the leaders. That is how this incredible White House media team has put together an amazing opportunity to get the president to a whole new audience of people. It's working really well, and I've spoken on 20 college campuses so far this year. I've had so many people come up and say either I voted for Biden in 2020 and I actually maybe not have supported Trump in 24, but I've liked what he's doing so far. And that's a pretty good sign going into the midterms in 26 and having Vance run in 28. I love it. And I absolutely think that the Republican Party has looked at Gen Z as this thing we're so fortunate to have won this cycle. We need to count them as our base going forward. We can totally do it.
Yeah.
I think the one thing you missed in that was authenticity.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's obviously something
He's
that's
genuine.
He's very genuine. But then you go on the other side, social media. You look at the Democrats, and they're authentically trying to reach out by using F-bombs and 4-letter words. I mean, that's not authentic. It's just weird.
It's so weird. And it's a crazy concept that the left has gone so far left. When you look at a cycle like 24, where they ran too liberal of a candidate, you would think they would come a little bit more center of the aisle, realize their message was a little too crazy. But the face of the Democrat Party today is people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett. And our face is people like Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Katie Britt. I think if we print out just pictures of our party leaders and show them to college students, we're winning every day. And I think that's an amazing concept.
So what is next for you? It's hard to believe, but you were just 18 years young. You've written a book. You host a podcast. You've spoken to 20 college campuses already this year. So what's next for you?
Instead of just speaking at college campuses, a week from today, I'll actually be moving to one. So I'm going to be attending Auburn for the next 4 years. This is my last TV hit before we go to college, but I won't be stopping anytime soon. That's bad news for the liberals, but we're actually just going to be gearing up. I actually, instead of sitting in a classroom for 7 hours a day in high school, I'll actually have some more flexibility, so hopefully you'll be seeing me around here more.
Yes, absolutely. Brilyn, please
keep
come
your
back
dorm
anytime.
clean before doing the hits.
Will.
Yeah, from your dorm.
Good advice.
Yeah, there you go.
Have a wonderful weekend, guys.
All right,
I appreciate it.
thanks. You too. All right, much more to come here on